And we're back after a unexpected Monday off. Monday turned into migraine money. Migraine money. I wish. Migraine Monday for yours truly. Gotta try to power through it, but just couldn't do it. The lights, the smells, my eyes were blurry. I just couldn't take it. So had to flick off all the lights, drown out all the noise, turn off all the smells, and try to take a nap. That's you say you're lucky. You don't really get many headaches. Those of you out there that get migraines know exactly what I'm talking about. It's if you don't get migraines, I'd probably best equate it to if you drank way too much and you wake up nauseous the next day and sick and like every smell or light bothers you. That's what kind of a migraine feels like, and minus the fun of drinking the night before.
Yeah. Not good.
Not good at all. But anyway, well, I don't know how our picks would have been. They probably would have been the best we ever had.
Yeah,
But
mine were pretty darn good. I started off with a big long shot in that first race. I think paid like 1980. So and then I did pretty well. So
good. Well, hopefully we can carry that over to today. Of course, free picks today and every day. Hopefully you went over there yesterday at horseracingtoday.net. Down in the link below, there is a link in the description to today's free picks for Guaranteed Tip Sheet. That is Fairmount Park, or FanDuel Sports Park as it's called now. On the weekend, the beginning of the road to the 2025 Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks begins at Churchill Downs. We're going to have the Iroquois and Pocahontas wagering guide coming out. Those two races are the first stops to the first Saturday of May next year. Kind of hard to believe that we're already heading off to the road to the Kentucky Derby for next year. When did you say, Terry?
Yeah.
Of course, when our show's over, we will post all of our notes, a replay of the show at horseracingtoday.net. Link in the description below. That is the sort of mothership, if you will. And then while you're there, kindly click on HRT Gear. Here in the Midwest, we definitely had a taste of the fall last weekend, where my son and I went out to play golf on Sunday morning. When we walked out the door, Terry, it was 48 degrees.
Ooh, that's cold.
Yes, that's what I said. But, well, I had my horse racing today hoodie, and I was nice and warm, and I looked fantastic, and I played great until I took it off. So I should be a little more superstitious, I feel like.
Yep.
Yeah, what can you do? All right, well, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to go about making our picks. Hopefully Terry has another long shot to start off race number one on this terrific Terry Tuesday. What are they racing for?
It's a 6 furlong race, optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to be claimed. And the purse is $25,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or claiming price is $16,000, or which have never won 2 races.
Yes, indeed. We got a whole bunch of 6 furlong races to start today. It is a festival of 6 furlongs, at least for I think about the first half of the card anyway. Tactical Speed does well. That is the profile of winner. A bunch, about 36%. Jerome Bettis getting to the front and just running you right over all the way to the finish line there. There is an inside to outside bias. Terry, we do 10,000 simulations around here to see who has the best chance to get to the lead. And then based upon our projected pace, which horses are going to be smack dab in their comfort zone. A score above 50 is preferred. It means 1 out of our 2 simulations, the horses race, matched their best performances. You want to pair up this early speed over here with the Q30 readings. These Q30 Quirin points, anytime they get above 30, Mr. Quirin, the godfather of Quirin points, says you can just bet them indiscriminately as they generate a positive ROI. We also want to know in our simulations what percentage of the time they ran a speed figure equal to or greater than par for this level. Here you can see Brisnet says 78. So in 3,920 times, dancing on my own, topped that, or at least met that number. And then finally, we all want value. That's the idea. We want our simulation odds to be lower than the post-time odds. Terry, who's going to get the lead?
Well, it looks like all of them have speed, as you can see.
Well, I got the wrong race up there. There we go. That's the right race. Race 1. My bad.
Yeah, they all have speed, but that 5 has the most speed, as you can see. And then the 3 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 3 to 1, and the 4 has an overlay from about it's almost 5 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 8 show par plus numbers, and all of the horses shows comfort zone.
Yeah, you got a bunch of them over 50%. None in here getting that 30 plus Q rating. Along with our simulations, we do trip handicapping over here, and this over here is pace handicapping. On the trip side, the 3, the 5, the 8 want to be forward. They want to be pilots. 1 and 7 co-pilots, 2 and 4 closers. So this race is pretty fairly balanced. If you want to be up front, maybe the speed is the way to go. And looks like Gaja Ray, along with Mayday Mayhem and Lucky Opportunity, they're a bit quicker than everybody else out of the gate, kind of tied up there. So the 4 being a left arrow horse, a closer whose normal early pace should put him closer to the front than usual today. At the end of the race, it should have been a Cowgirl. That one is your top total pace at the end, along with Union Bell. These kind of staggered on the way down right there. Top total pace horses, 3 of them. The 3, the 5, and the 1 are considerably higher than the rest. Every 5 points equates to about 1 length. So it looks like those 3 should be about a length clear of the field at the finish wire. Terry, which one do you think gets there first?
Well, it's not a long shot today, but it's number 3, Union Bell. She finished in the money in her last 3 races. When one of the starts, she finished second versus in her last race, and she can handle the distance. Namora, the 2, is my second choice, ran second versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 5, Gaja Ray is my third choice, won her last race, Parx Racing by 14 lengths. Has the best start speed among the day starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And then my long shot is 7, Moonlight Magic, won her last race at Parx Racing, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey.
I believe the 5 horse is going to probably get the W here, Terry, because the only horse in the race that has ever hit par for this level, at least recently anyway. Second start after a layoff, well, this is where the bad part comes, but the good part also. The horse either booms or busts in the second up. Got my fingers crossed for a boom performance. Union Bell, the 3 horse, next on my list. Most consistent performer of late. And most of those performances would beat most of these most of the time. Number 1 should have been a Cowgirl, likely better in the second start after a layoff, and does get that added edge of the rail bonus. And then finally, number 7, Moonlight Magic, better from the middle of the race to the end of the race last time out. And I've seen that combination prove to be one that carries over into the next starts. We have a $100 budget, along with the couple of pick 4s that we make along the way. I'm going to spend 6 of my dollars right now with an exact key box. I'm going to put the 5 over the 1, the 3, and the 7 as they are loading up in the gates right now for race number 1. And while they load up in the gates, Terry, as we wait, what are some of the things people can do to help the show out a bit?
Well, if you haven't already done it, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that little bell. It'll tell you when our programs are coming up. And then go down to the bottom and copy that link and share it with all your friends, neighbors, relatives, so they can come and check us out too, and possibly subscribe to our YouTube channel. I know they'll want to. Then go to our social sites such as Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and that really helps us out. And then give us any comments or picks during the day. That's another way you can help us out. And we enjoy hearing from the people out there watching us.
And right now, as I'm watching this first race, the 1 horse should have been a Cowgirl, baby, off to the front right now. They're a pretty tightly packed field, though. The 1 is on the lead, the 7's in the co-pilot position. You got the 2 up on the rail. Looks like on the outside there is the 8 horse at 45 to 1. Down around the bend they go. The 1 and the 7 continue to set the tone. The 5 horse being forced out pretty wide. 3 horses getting kind of a patient trip there. He's going to have to split horses and come. Kind of got blocked off a little bit there. Right now it's between the 1 and the 7 on the front. The 7 continues to hold the lead as your long shot. The 3 is going to have to find its way down to the rail, save a little bit of ground. Out to the outside, they go. The 5 horse is trying to switch leads and get going. It looks like this race is going to come down to the 5 or the 7 as your winner, although The 1 is digging in. I need that 5 to get up there and get past that 1 for my exacta to come in. I don't know that he's going to do it, Terry. It's going to go the 7, then the 1, then the 5, then the 3. 7, 1. Almost I had it exactly backwards. 5 and 3.
Yep. There you go.
So a little bit of a 10-cent superfecta to get started, Mr. Terry. And that one should pay pretty good because you got a 10 to 1 over a 9 to 2. And then you have the 8 to 5 and 2 to 1. So that's I wish I would have played the superfecta instead.
Yeah, well, I should have used that as my top horse because that was my long shot, and it is a long shot. So there you go.
Yeah, well. Off to race number 2 we go. Mr. Terry, what's happening in the second start?
All right, so in race 2, we're going to go to 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, and it's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
We just saw in the opener there, the horses that got to the front, they stayed up there. So that speed bias seems to be holding right now. There is an inside to outside bias. We didn't see that in that last race as the 7 got out to the front and stayed there, although the 1 did stay up around the bend all the way around the track and did not cede that position to the 5 at the end. I wish it did. All right, so we know the early pace. We know the profile of a winner, Terry, but tell us who's going to get to the front that they'll have to chase down in this one.
Well, here's another one with most of them show speed, and it's another who knows race. The 2, 5, 3, and 6 show the most speed. 3 has an overlay from 6 to 5 to 7 to 2, and the 7 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 5 to 2. All but the 1, 5, and 8 have par plus numbers, and all but the 1 and 8 show C zones, and the 2 and 6 have pretty nice Q30s.
Yeah, you got this 2 and the 6 being over 30%. So if one of those guys gets to the lead, and they both look like they got a shot to get to the lead, let's see where they want to be in our trip handicapping. Look out for that 6. It is a lone E. Every time we see those lone E's get out to the front, their confidence grows. 2, though, is a lone PC. Those horses are exceptionally dangerous because they have a ton of versatility. Most of these want to be middle back. The 1 and the 8 so far have not been within 5 lengths of the leader in some of the recent races at the finish line. So get that early speed going here. Again, Terry, you see Bohemia Babe. It's about a half a length quicker than Cup of Life, which is maybe a head quicker than Anka. So it does look like Bohemian Babe should get out to the front. At the end of the race, Miss Alex, that one will be coming the strongest by far, about a length and a half quicker than everybody else down the stretch. 4 top total pace horses here in tight quarters, the 7, the 3, the 6, and the 2. The question is, Terry, do you want to go with a closer or do you want to go with the speed?
Well, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Athletic Storm. She won her last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Then I'm going to use Miss Alex, the 7, ran second versus similar to her last race. She has the highest last speed figure and at today's distance. And then number 3, Akna, whatever. She drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Then I like the 2 Disco Daisy as my long shot. Won her last race at Penn National, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a $1 exacta box, 2, 3, 4, 7, and then I'm going to play a 50-cent trifecta. Pick 4, 2, 3, 4, 7 with the 4, 5 with the 1, 6, 7 with the 4, 5, 7, and 8. That's a $45 or $48 play.
I think the 4-horse Angelic Storm could be the one to beat. I would like to see the horse get forward today, as we saw in that opening speed right there. Coming off a dominant win, absolutely has the most back class. Let's see if he can follow a big race with another. Acna, the 3-horse, has 3 consecutive speed figure increases, according to Barry Meadows. That is an alpha angle that wins at least 15%, probably more. And going to drop in class here today. Bohemian Babe, that 6-horse, has a really good shot to be part of the early pace and stay there. Is that lone E? Boy, you see a lone E that's got a shot to go to the front. You got to put those on your tickets. And then finally, Miss Alex, the 7-horse, is my final selection in here. I don't like when I accidentally make changes. But Miss Alex, second at this level in its last race. Again, in my race notes, I see that comment over and over and over. This one can run back to the July 24th race. Wouldn't be second last out. It would be the winner this time out. So I'm going to do a pick 4 as well. My first 4 picks, 3, 4, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go with the 1, 5 in the third leg. And then 4, 5, 7 to close it out. It is a $48 ticket. And that takes us to race number 3.
All right. So in race number 3, we're going at 6 furlongs again. It's a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price. Purse is $18,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since March 10th.
6 furlongs again. Inside speed is the way to go. Terry, so do we see any inside speed in race 3?
Yeah, it's really another one where all of them have speed, but most of the speed that's on the outside, really. But you've got the as you can see there, the 7 and the 5 and 4 have plenty of speed versus the other 2. And then the 2 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 8 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 5 to 2, and the 4 has an overlay from I'm sorry, that's what I just said. The 3 has an overlay from. I think I skipped the 2, didn't I?
Well, what happened was I think the 1 being out of there. So the 2 horse has a little bit of an overlay, as the inside 3 horses do with the.
Yeah, you're right, and they all show par plus numbers. Although the 7's kind of low, and all of them have C zones. So and
just
then
kind of looking at here, you have the Bahama Pearl looks pretty interesting. Terry, high Q30. Top C zone, should be in a stalking position. Number 1 par plus and a little bit of an overlay. Now, all these stats are also taking into consideration the scratches. So those numbers are reflective of who is in and who is out. The 7 horse, Collins Gray Lady, lone speed against everybody that prefers to be middle back. That gets to the front, Collins Gray, and you could go all the way. And it does look like Collins Gray's got a good shot. Bahama Pearl right behind, and a little bit of a drop off from everybody else. So the 7 and the 4 should be able to break to the lead and not really have to work all that hard for it. At the end of the race, Bahama Pearl, which is sitting in that co-pilot spot, a little bit faster than Shackelford County out of the gate, a little bit faster at the end. So the 4 horse, Terry, does look like the one that's going to grade out as your top total pace horse. 9 points clear of everybody else. Usually those double-digit total pace horses are one that you can count on to finish in the money and have a great chance to win the race. And we both think that's exactly what Bahama Pearl will do.
Yep. She won her last race at Parx Racing by 8 lengths, and she has the highest last race speed rating and has the highest percent winning trainer. Shackelford County is my second pick, the 5. She likes Parx Racing. She's been in the money 75% of her starts here. She's won 25% of those races. The distance have not caused her any problem, as she's been in this money 68% of the time at today's distance and won 23% of the races. Then the 7 Collins Gray Girl is my third choice. Ran second in her last race, has the highest last speed rating, and has the highest speed figure at today's distance. The 3 Lean on E is my long shot drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. I'm going to play $1 exacta box 3, 4, 5, 7.
So we should just single the 2 since it's the 1 horse neither one of us has. Bahama Pearl, that one's got a really good shot to get to the front. 2 of the last 3 races she ran would win here again today and does have that big total pace edge. Shackelford County, the 5 horse, clearly in peak form at the moment. Better all across the board with its race internals in its most recent race. I do worry about a little bit of regression today, however. Number 3, Leononi, first up on the class drop. The last time the horse ran was when it ran at this level. So they're dropping it back to where it is competitive. And then finally, the 7 horse Collins Gray Lady, another lone E with a great chance to be forward today. The right fractions, they might not catch the longest shot on the board on a 5 horse field. And again, if you watch our Players Edge podcast or any of our Horse Center shows, we had on Stephen Fielder, who wins tons and tons and tons of money in those contests, horse racing contests. Mentioned in 5 horse fields, take the longest shot if you're playing contest, and that would be Collins Gray Lady, the lone E. Good chance to perhaps go wire to wire. Good morning to Don Johnson. How are you? Good to see you again. If you have any thoughts, picks, suggestions, I mean, Don suggested we put the pick 4s back in, and we did. Sometimes we call them the Miami Vice pick 4s in honor of Don Johnson. If you don't know what Miami Vice is, Google is a great tool. Look it up. Number 4, Terry, tell us a little bit about that one.
All right. So the 4th is another 6 furlongs claiming race, $10,000 claiming price. Purse 26,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 10th, claiming races for 8,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Inside speed, we talked about it for the first 3 races. That's usually the way to win. Again, in the opener, the outside speed got up there, but the one did keep pace and just kind of lost a little bit of ground at the end, but it did hold up. So speed being the most important, then followed by inside post positions. Terry, again, we're looking for the fastest of the fast, and we see another competitive start here.
Yeah, they all showed lots of speed. There's really nobody that stands out there. So just never know who's going to get that quarter pole first. Just depends on who gets the best break, I guess. The the 3 has an overlay from 6-1 to 10-1. 4 has an overlay from 9-2 to 6-1. And the 5 has an overlay from 9-5 to 5-1. 7, 5, and 1 show par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
Just again, looking at the numbers here, this Leviosa checks off a lot of boxes. Would like to see the sim odds be a bit lower, however. Race 4 shape, you got 2 that want to be on the front, 2 that want to be in the middle, and these 2 that can go any which direction. So this race should favor horses that have a little bit of late energy, because most of them are middle forward. As we do see, very competitive get-go from the start. Only 7 points between Fairy Dreams and Rolls Royce Joyce. Means if a horse gets bumped, gets forced wide, hesitant coming out of the gate, you could be first or you could be worst. Late speed is probably where this race is going to be won. Cabra Chica having a little bit more than Leviosa, has a little bit more than Rolls Royce Joyce. Top total pay says that Leviosa gets out to the front, maybe stays there, but Cabra Chica trying to run it down. Again, we see him notching down just a little bit by a little bit. Again, the start could be huge. The trip's going to be important. You got to save ground. Can't go wide, Terry. Just from all of the data that we've seen so far, this one looks pretty open. So how did you decide on the 6?
Yeah, it is. Well, I like the 6 because she likes Parx racing. She's been in the money 67% of the time here and won 33% of her starts. The distance also is okay for her because she likes it. Been in the money 78% of the time and won 33% of those races, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. I like the 1 Wishing on a Prayer is my second choice. Has won 2 races in a row, going for a hat trick. The rail post is winning a 19% clip, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Leviosa,
who knows?
Yeah, Leviosa. The 7 is my third choice. She's finished in the money in 5 of her last 6 starts and won 3 of those, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Cabra Chica, the 5 is my long shot. She switches to a high percentage winning trainer, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and a bullet workout on September 4th. And then I'm going to play a $1 exacta box, 1, 5, 6, 7. And I'm also going to play a pick 4, Miami Vice Don Johnson, 167 with the 4, 5, 7, 8, with the 1, 4, with the 1, 2, 5, 8, $48 ticket.
I'm going to go with Cabra Chica as my top pick. It's also our simulations top pick, the 5 horse in there. My reason being, this one has the most back class. It's CV, says the second race off the sideline should be at least as good, but most likely better. And has a bullet workout at 3 furlongs. I know that doesn't mean much because any trainer can make its horse run fast for 3 furlongs. But the signal that's sending me is that they're going to send this horse closer to the front today. Number 1, Wishing on a Prayer, wire to wire in the last 2 races. If you can get to the lead on that rail, look out. Leviosa, the 7 horse, is the most consistent performer in this race, or at least one of them. And it's all or nothing at the distance. So 20 times out, 4 wins. So look out. If the horse gets to the front, yeah, it's a good shot to add another W in that all or nothing resume. And finally, Fairy Dreams, another horse that's really consistent, solid at Parx, 9 times out, 3 wins, a couple of seconds and a third, and one that's also finished in the money 7 out of 9 at the distance. So definitely one that you might want to key around for exactas or trifectas or superfectas if that's what you play. And speaking of superfectas, in that first race, the 7153 superfecta for a dime. So if you box those top 4 picks for $2.40, you got back $57.93. The 7 was both Terry and I's long shot in there, that our 4th pick. to win paid $22.80. Not bad.
Nope.
You want 22.81s on the top of your tickets constantly. That would be make horse racing better than going to work or the lottery. All right.
Yep.
The fifth race, Terry, are we going to finally break away from 6 furlongs?
Nope. We're going to stick at 6 furlongs. The claiming race, $15,000 claiming price, purse $28,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 10th. Claiming races for 12.5 or less, not considered, of which have never won 4 races.
Yes, indeed. 6 furlong races, and we already know that inside speed is the most likely way to collect the check at the end of the race. So in the fifth race, Terry, like we've looked in the first 4, and now my computer doesn't want to work. Did I freeze? I froze.
Yep, you're frozen.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you, but I can't. But you're all frozen.
Yes, I see. So unfortunately, I can't click these things around, and I don't know why my computer's frozen on me, but it is. Can you still hear me, or am I done?
No, I can. We can hear you.
I can't even click out of here.
Can't hear you anymore. Okay, well, let me tell you about the speed while he's trying to get this fixed. In here, it's another one of those who knows who's going to get that quarter pole first, because the 7, 4, and 8 show a lot of speed, and they're very close to each other. And then the 4 has an overlay, and since I can't see his thing, I'm not sure about what it is from where to where, but also the 8 has an overlay. They all have par plus numbers and all have C zones. So I don't know where he's at or whether he's coming back. So we'll just have to see what happens here. If he doesn't come back, we'll kind of try to go on with the show. So anyway, if you like what you see here, please subscribe to YouTube and share it. Take and copy that link down at the bottom and share it with your friends and relatives, everybody that you know, so they can come and check us out. Because it really helps us out when you get people that subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also go to our social sites and give us thumbs up at Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, and Threads at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and see how that goes there, because you can help us out doing that. And then good morning to Sirkan, and good morning to Tayfun. We'll try to help you, Tayfun. We'll do as best we can. I see that Rich is trying to come back in now, so here we go. There's Rich.
Yes, back. My computer said that I my computer ran into a problem and had to shut down all by itself. So, all right. So anyway, we were talking about race number 5, I think, before I was rudely interrupted by my own technology, because it said I had a technical issue. Let me log back in and bring up the business sheets, and we can go about whatever it is we were doing before.
Okay. Well, I went through the speed, the overlays, the par, and all that, so you can go to the part that you talk about before I go to my picks. So,
all right. So let's go about race number 5's race shape and all that good stuff, folks. Let's go back over here to the 5th race. We do see a pretty balanced race. You got a dangerous horse right here in Fast Motion, being a lone EP type. So it can pilot or co-pilot. If these 3 go too fast, that 8 can go be patient. If they go too slow, can set the tempo. A couple of other horses in here that have a little bit of versatility with the 3 and the 5. So this 3 right here, just from a race shape standpoint, are ones to perhaps keep an eye on. The early speed in this race does belong to Battaglia. But you can see, again, another race where a lot of horses are pretty tightly fit. So they should be pretty aggressive out of the gates to see who can get that early advantage. She talks too much. Yes, indeed. About a length quicker than everybody else down the stretch, but probably more than a length off the lead early on. So that one might need to come a little bit more forward out of the start today than usual. Confirmed genius. Yes, that's either Terry or I some days. One day it's Terry, one day it's me, and then one day it's neither of us.
That's right.
But that one's a little bit quicker than a whole bunch in here that are kind of tightly mixed. Looks like Collect That is the only one that maybe you can put an X through. So maybe put that one as your winner. All right, Terry, neither one of us has the 6 as the winner. We just flipped the 4 and the 5.
Yeah, so I in this race here, I love the 5 Confirmed Genius. She's my pick of the day. She switches to high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 31% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. And then the 4 is my second choice, Battaglia. She has won 3 races in a row at Parx Racing easily, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. A GNC, the 7, is my third choice. She ran second in her last race. Her best third speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a nice bullet workout, 4 furlongs on August 31st. The 8's my long shot, Fast Motion, likes Parx Racing, been in the money 100% of the races here that she started, won 67% of those starts, and the distance won't cause any problems as she's finished in the money 100% of the time and won 67% of those races. And so I'm going to bet $10 win, $20 to place on number 5. I'm going to bet a $5 exacta, 5 on top with the 4, 7, and 8. A $2 daily double. I'm going to use the 5 with all. And then I'm going to bet a 50-cent trifecta key, 5 on top with the 4, 7, 8, and then finish up with a 2, 3, 4, 7, 8.
We have a little bit of, I don't speak Turkish, but wonder if we have Tafum and Icy here having a little bit of a courtship on horse racing today. All right, I'm going to go with the 4 horse. Terry loves the 5 horse, so that's his bet of the day. My 4 horse today. Oh, no. You know what I lost? All of my notes.
Oh, boy.
All my notes disappeared, Terry. I hope they open back up again. Let's see. Sometimes they save them when the computer just crashes. Sometimes they don't. If they don't, well, I won't have a whole lot to say today, Terry. I'll just tell you, I like the 4, I like the 5, I like the 8, and I like the 7.
All right.
See if there's any. All right, I have them here. All right.
All right, good.
Fortunately, Battaglia upped their speed figure in the last 3 races, all blowout wire-to-wire wins. Let's see if she can do that again. Confirmed Genius is a class dropper with Jocko Paco. There you go, riding today. Last time that Paco rode this horse was 2 races ago, and it won. And that was the only time in the last 10 he was aboard. Fast Motion, that 8 horse, Terry, is another that's upped its speed figure 3 races in a row. And all of its race internals improved it a little bit last time out. So that's all a sign of a horse on the upswing. And AGNC, the 7 horse, is my final selection in here. Probably the most consistent performer, where her typical race is competitive for the win and very likely to end up in the money. No bets for me. Yes, Tafum Terry's 5 horse in race number 5 is his best bet of the day. And as our good friend Horse Racing 2024, or whatever his name is nowadays, might say, it is some form of a numerical code. I won't go with crypto codes, because last time I went with crypto codes, I was scolded by our friend Horse Racing 2024 for not knowing the definition of a crypto code. He didn't share it with us. So unfortunately, I don't know what that is. All right, Terry, I do know race number 6 finally breaks the 6 furlong.
It sure does. It goes to 1 mile and 70 yards. A claiming race, $15,000 claiming price per 28,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since June 10th. Claiming races for 12.5 or less not considered, of which have never won 4 races.
And in the mile and 70 type races, the profile of the winner, again, early speed 4 out of 10, 40% if you do the math, go wire to wire. Post positions are mostly fair, except 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus, and 4 through 7 get a little bit of a discount. So upgrade your 2 and 3s, downgrade your 4, 5, 6, and 7s just a little bit. That should give you a fair picture of how these races are going to work out. Terry, also, in terms of giving us a picture of how these races are going to work out, we've done our simulations. Everything's backwards now for me, confusing the hell out of me, but that's all right. We'll get it all straightened out. Race number 6, tell us all about the statistics.
Well, another one where most of them have speed, but that number 1 horse has the most speed, so it should really get to that quarter pole first. 3 has an overlay from almost 8 to 1 to 10 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from 8 to 5, 6 to 1. 7 has an overlay from 8 to 1 to 20 to 1. All but the 2 and 8 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C-zone numbers.
And except for the 6, You Must Chill. They're all above 50%. People Force almost getting that 30% Q rating. Again, those horses that get 30%, you can bet them blindly because according to James Quinn in his book, The Complete Handicapper, they produce a positive return on investment. That's the whole idea. Our race shape for race number 6. We see most of these horses want to be middle back. One horse in here, Spites the Red, catching the lone PC designation. Again, anytime you see a lone EP or PC, those versatile horses, they warrant extra scrutiny in your handicapping. 1 and 8 want to be up on the front when the race gets started. Looks like neither one of them might be there, although their early pace is competitive enough to get to the front. The King Cheek might have that edge being on the rail. When they come home down the stretch, Running on Cue, that one has about a length late speed advantage over the rest of the field, although probably going to be about 2 lengths off the lead at the start. So another one that might have to scoot forward at the beginning of the race. As far as your top total pace, You Must Chill, along with Running on Cue, St. Marco, and the King Cheek are your top 4. But this looks like another one of those races where except Zappy Fishman has a chance to win this race. Terry, another open race. Why did you settle on People Force?
Okay, well, I like that horse because he should improve while returning the dirt and at the shorter distance, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and a good 4 furlong workout September 1st. The King Creek Cheek, the one is my second choice, ran 4th in his last race as a favorite, but the trainer wins 30% of the race when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. He has a high percentage winning jockey. 6, You Must Chill is my third choice, has the highest speed favorite today's distance. His best turn speed is fast among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Spites to Red, the 5, my long shot, drops in class today and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. No additional bets for me.
The race number 2 is coming to a close, and right now they're coming to the wire. It's going to go 6, 2, 4, and 3. 6, 2, 4, and 3 is the way race number 2 goes. The 6 horse, Bohemian Babe, jumped to the lead, Terry. There's that 30-plus Q score. The only horse in the field that did so went off the 6 horse at 5-2. Can bet them blindly. Did get to the lead. I think we saw in our pace setup, that was that Lone E horse, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Lone E, high Q30 score, and did exactly what all the data said it could do. Go to the front, and it went wire to wire.
Yeah.
In race number 6, for me, that's what we were talking about, right? Race number 6?
Yeah.
You Must Chill, another 6 horse, gets the top selection in my book. Best Parx numbers. Ran at the track 8 times. 4 of those times it ended up in the winner's circle. That's pretty good. Horse that should step forward in the second start after a layoff. The King Cheek. This one's going to be a big favorite, I feel like, Terry, because you have Jamie Ness and Mikel Sanchez. That's the dynamic trainer jockey duo, and they're sitting on a horse that has the most upside. Number 4, People Force, Terry's top picks. We put the one in the middle and then just flipped our first and third picks. Running at this level, but really has been running versus top, better competition at Tier 1 tracks. Also does have a win across the Parx track. And then finally, the 5 horse, Spites to Red, was a very hard call for me over St. Marco, but did run better internals from beginning to end last time out. And its race was faster by about 2 seconds. That's a pretty big number. I'm going to do a dollar trifecta, 1, 4, 6 over to 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8 over to 1, 4, and 6. That is an $18 ticket. Race number, best bet. Terry gave you the best bet. It was the 5 in race number 5. I have a couple horses coming up I feel like are pretty good bets today, too. I forget. I think it's in race number 8, I think, or 9, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
All right, race number 7, Terry, something, again, a little bit different. We're going back to a sprint, but a lot of babies in here.
Yeah, it's 5.5 furlongs. It's a maiden $50,000 purse for maidens 2-year-olds.
And at 5.5 furlongs, to get that maiden W, you got to be fast. In fact, almost 60% of horses that win the race to the quarter-mile marker also win the race to the checkered flag. So be fast. Outside is better than inside if you are fast. The question is, Terry, who's fast? So a lot of these horses are making their first starts, so we don't really know. The only thing we know is what we see in the workouts, and from there we get to make our picks. So you started with Urban Symphony. Give us all the reasons why.
Well, the 2 horse is a first time starter whose dam has 3 winners from 3 starters. One of them was a stakes winner, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey and a nice bullet workout, 4 furlongs on August 30th. Beyond your expectations. The 5, my second choice, also a first time starter. His dam has 2 winners from 2 starters and a stakes winner, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. The 1, right wing runner, another first time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 2 starters. He has a trainer wins 20% of the races when his horse debuts in a maiden special weight race. His breeding suits today's sprint distance, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 8, Possum. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey, which is Paco Lopez, and he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 27% of the races in the second career race a horse competes in. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 5, and 8 with the 2, 5, with the 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to finish up with the 7, 8, 9, $48 ticket.
So we have some weird objection going on in the race. I don't know what it is. The 1 horse jockey fell off at the start. The 3 horse got a slow start. And then the 2 objected to the 6. But I don't see where it is because the 6 stayed in his lane the whole race. The 2 just didn't want to run up the rail, it looks like. It's tough to say. And the 5's pressing them all down. So I don't know. I mean, I personally don't see anything in there, but you never know, right?
Yeah, you just don't know.
Well, the 1 horse jockey just went straight down face plant. I hope that he's okay.
Oof.
Kimberly, it looks like Kimberly Chrisman.
Yeah.
So I hope Kimberly is okay. Just watching the race, I don't see the 6 horse coming out of his lane at all. Yeah, I don't know what the 2 is objecting to. I don't see anything. And then the 5 presses them all down towards the rail anyway. So maybe I missed something. I don't know. Parx usually, I mean, those East Coast tracks, usually they can play bumper cars with each other, and they do already well. I didn't see anything there.
Yeah, they're not gonna make a change.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they did.
Yeah,
it's official. 6-2-4-3. I don't know what the jockey Hugo Padilla was complaining about. Or no, the jockey is Francisco Martinez. Wilford Vasquez was the jockey that came off the horse on the 1 horse. All right. Anyhow, to race number 7, my selections to start the late pick 4, just the way you want to start it, with a bunch of 2-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
So as you know, I grade all my horses that are making a first-time start on a 3-point scale where I look at breeding, I look at workouts, I look at the trainer's win percent on debuts. I award up to a point for each one, and beyond expectations, got 3 out of 3. The 5 horse, not surprisingly, the favorite. Number 2, Urban Symphony, got the second most points for me at 2.6. Right Wing Runner got the next at 2.5. And then the 4 horse, My Detroit City, 2.4. I didn't stop there on my pick 4, however. I went 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. So that means you probably should bet the 3 and the 7, and you'll come out the winner. You can leave all of the rest of them off your ticket. I'm going to single the 2 in the next leg. He's going to be a huge favorite, but quite frankly, unless he's a Tom horse where it's big odds, low odds, second place finish. But really, I think the class might even be the class horse in the entire race today, most likely winner. Then 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to close it out with 4, 5, 6, and 9. I'm not quite sure what that costs, but I know it's under $50.
Okay.
Off to race 8 we go. The 6 indeed was posted as your official winner. In race number 8, Terry, they're going to do something once and done for today.
Yep, they're going to do 7 furlongs as allowance race, $41,000 purse for registered Pennsylvania-bred fillies and bears, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a Pennsylvania restricted race other than a maiden claiming starter.
Okay, so race 5, number 5, Terry's best bet. Bang. There you go, Tafum. So now it's written for you. Okay, my friend? I'll put it up on the screen. Race 5, number 5, Terry's best bet. Hopefully you got that. In race number 7, 7 furlongs, sevens abound. You're looking at horses that have tactical speed, 21%. So 3 7s, 7 7 7. They go wire to wire. So 7's the way to go right here. There is an inside 3 bonus. Unfortunately, the 7 doesn't get a bonus in there. 4 and out, they get about a 20% haircut, all pretty similar. So if you can find some horses that wear a 1, a 2, or a 3, have some tactical speed in race number 7. I mean, 8. We're in race 8 right now.
Yeah, 8. Race 8.
You would have a good shot to have a horse that gets to the winner circle. Terry, sure looks like one of them kind of fits that bill.
Yeah, that's that 2 horse has lots and lots of speed, followed up by the 7, but the 2 should get there if there's no problems getting out of that gate. And then 2 also has an overlay from 4 to 5 to about 6 to 5 or 7 to 5. The 5 has an overlay from about 8 to 5 to 7 to 2. 2, 5, and 7 show a par plus. The 2 has a really nice par plus number, and they all have C zones, although except for the 5, although the 1 is kind of low. And look at the 60% on that too.
Yeah, so he's got 60% in the 7 Dakota Springs. So, I mean, maybe the 7 could be a spoiler in here with that 2 horse, but it sure looks like that 2 horse is going to get to the lead. Overlay, par plus. I mean, this is a gringo horse all the way from start to finish. Do concern myself a little bit that it is, as Tom calls them, big favorite, second place finish. Wants to be on the lead. The 7 can burn him. Everybody else, middle back. The 2 horse should get the inside on the 7. They're both about the same. They're about a length faster than everybody else. So if the 2 can break to the lead and the 7 can find any struggles clearing, 2 should get away with an easy lead. The end of the race, Jezebel Jade is about a length and a half faster than Flamingo Way, although Jezebel Jade is going to be about 4 lengths off the early pace. So maybe can wiggle its way up into second place. You can't pass what you can't catch, Terry. That one has an 11-point total pace advantage over the rest. I mean, this is the 2 horses race to win, Terry. If it doesn't fall down coming out of the gates like the 1, does anybody beat it?
I don't think so. She finished in the money in 5 of 5 career races, and she won 2 of those races, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 5, Jezebel Jade is my second choice. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then the 4, Kindred Hearts is my third choice. She won her last race, Parx Racing, has a high percentage winning trainer, and she has a good workout on August 31st. Missy 66. The 1 is a long shot. She can improve by returning to a sprint. The rail posts win an 18% clip, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm out of money. If I wasn't out of money, I'd bet money on that too.
And that 2 horse, Terry, it's going to be really low odds. I think it's the most, in terms of what the card looks like today, the most obvious winner. I don't know if that's the case, though, because it is Parx. Going to be a heavy favorite, that's for sure. It does have that top 11 total pace advantage. So, I mean, it really is a 2 horse. Should get to the lead, should get so there comfortably, has the late speed to keep it. I mean, it should really be a practice run for the Flamingo Way today. If not, Jezebel Jade, that one has explosive, elite late speed. That one can move forward at all coming out of the gates, maybe run up into the shotgun position, could use that late energy to run by the front runner. Number 1, Miss 66. The race 2 back puts her in the money. I think cutting back at a little bit of distance could allow for her to run a little bit of a hotter pace from start to finish. And finally, Snappy Ride is a lone PC type. Best chance for the 3 horse, perhaps for any other horse in this race to win, is for the 7 to get out to the front. Dakota Springs, try to burn out Flamingo Way. And then that some of those that have the late race ability just squeak by at the end. I don't think they will. I'm going to do a $30 double with the 2 and the 4 in the next leg, Mr. Terry. You don't see me do that too often. So I don't know if you should run away from that or you should back that with much enthusiasm. But nonetheless, Terry, we will move off to that race in this next race, and I'll tell you why I like the 4.
Okay, so it's a 1.70 miles, optional claiming race. $40,000 claiming price, purse $52,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races other than a maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, or which have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $40,000.
Delete it from the broadcast. Delete what from the broadcast? I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Anyway, at a mile and 70 yards, what I like here is early speed. 40% of the time, the horses that get to the front, they stay there. They take the field from gate to wire. Post positions are mostly fair. Again, you get a little bit of a bump for 2 and 3. You get a little bit of a discount, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So use that perhaps as tiebreakers. If you're looking for the speed, Terry, that wins 40% of the time. Looks like 3 of them are going to make a case to be the front runner.
That's right. The 6, 2, and 4 all have similar speed, so they're all going to probably go head-to-head to that quarter pole. That 2 has an overlay from about almost 5-1 to 10-1. The 4 has an overlay from about 6-5 to 5-2. 4, 3, and 2 have the par plus numbers, and then all but the 2 have C zones, and the 4 has a pretty nice Q30.
There's another one of those horses with a good shot to get to the front. Big par plus overlay, and that over 30%. Again, bet him blindly. Get yourself a high ROI. 4 is the EP type, so he's not dependent on getting the lead pilot or co-pilot. 2 and 3 want a co-pilot. 5 and 6 PC types. But when we take a look at the early speed in terms of pace, Dancing on My Own is a little bit more than a length and a half faster than everybody else. Dancing on My Own, barring a stumble, late break, should be the one that darts out to the front today, Terry. It does also have some late speed. Most of them are in there except for Mary Q. Mary Q should sit maybe in second or third. So Mary Q, a great stalking position. The question is, Terry, tops of your top total pace horses, it is between the 5 and the 4, an 8-point drop from there. So those two should duke it out for the first place prize. Do you want the speed or do you want the closer, Terry?
Well, I like number 4, Dancing on My Own. She won her last race at Delaware Park, has the highest last speed rating. She has a high percentage winning trainer. Mary Q likes Parx Racing, finishing the money 56% of the time, winning 33% of the races, and the distance won't cause any problems. She's been in the money 67% of the time, winning 67% of those races. And then the 3, Gold Medal Anna is my third choice. She also likes Parx Racing. She's finishing the money 69% of the time, winning 15% of them. And then she's at the distance, she's won 67% of the money and won 15% of the time. And then 6, Stasi, ran second in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. She's my long shot. So
I think the 4 horse Dancing on My Own, we've seen it today, gets to the front and stays on the front. And the question is, can anybody run her down at the end? Majestic Creed, the 2 horse, is a class dropper that was better in the first half mile of its last race. Horse has 6 wins. 5 of them are in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, making Majestic Creed a qualifier as a horse for the Parx course. Number 3, Gold Medal Anna. The resume says this one's going to take a pretty sizable step forward in round 2 off the bench today. And finally, Mary Q, the 4 horse, what the 4 has in early speed, the 5 horse, Mary Q, has in late speed. Although this one has a spotty second up record, usually regresses a couple of points on that speed figure. Nonetheless, I expect it will be closing. I'm going to do a $10 win bet on Dancing My Own to get to the front, stay there, go wire to wire. And then I'm going to do a $10 double, 4 over the 4, 7, and 9. I think that expires all of my money for today. It also takes us to the last race today, race number 10. Before we go about our business in the final race, tomorrow is closing day at the Chaotic Crazy, otherwise known as Kentucky Downs track. Terry and I will do that. Not quite sure what's on the agenda for Thursday. Maybe we'll do Del Mar. I'm going to have a busy day Thursday, so we'll keep you up to speed with that on our social sites, Terry. So to make sure you don't miss out on our Thursday show or anything else that we do, what's the appropriate thing to do?
Well, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that little bell. That'll notify you about all our programs coming up. And then go down, copy that link, share it with all your friends, neighbors, and relatives. So they can come and check us out too. Go to their social sites such as Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and X. And Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us thumbs up and also likes. That really helps us out. Thank you to Tayfun and Don Johnson and all the people that have given us comments and picks, because that's what really helps us out too.
Yeah, and I misspoke. We'll do Churchill in all likelihood on Thursday as we prepare for the opening leg of the Road to the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks with the Iroquois and Pocahontas wagering guide, which will be available over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Also, free picks today at FanDuel, available at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link down in the description below. And there's absolutely no question fall is coming. Head on over to Horse Racing Today when the show is over.net, a link in the description. We'll also timestamp every single race in the description in just a minute when the show is over, so you can come back and watch it race by race by race. Find out who our best bets are if that's your sort of thing. You can read our comments, see a replay right here. Hit that HRT gear button right there. Get yourself a hoodie. Get 15% off and free shipping, Terry. Man, we're just giving stuff away, bro.
That's right.
That's a football one, too. You can get one that says Horse Racing Today. Terry's going to get his in red. He's all happy today that his 49ers beat the Jets. That's why he's so cheerful.
The only thing I'm not happy about is how they kept strangling Bosa, and the umpires, they didn't say a thing. I mean, I saw 2 or 3 times where they had him around on the neck like this, and he was almost passed out.
I think every offensive line does that. If you watch, I don't think anybody gets held more than Micah Parsons from the Cowboys. If you watch them play, it's unbelievable what they do to that guy. But Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, said that every team does it and that it has to cross the line or something. I don't know. There must be something that they've discussed with the referees, because they have those $250 million quarterbacks, and the last thing they want is Bosa or Micah Parsons coming off the edge unblocked and then just blowing up that $250 million investment.
That's right.
That's why you're allowed to hold in the NFL. All right, the last race today is going to be pretty much the way we started. 6 out of 10 races today, folks.
Yeah, it's a 6 furlong, claiming $7,500 claiming price, $20,000 purse. 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 10th.
And at 6 furlongs, the profile of the winner, as we mentioned, is Early Speed. A bunch, a little more than 1 out of 3 winning wire to wire. Is the inside to outside bias. The closer you are to the rail with Early Speed, the better off your chances are to win, Terry. And looks like one of them's on the inside with a lot of giddy up and go.
Yeah, that 4 shows the most, but then the 6 and the 8 also have some speed. But if that 4 can break out of there with no problems, it could probably get to that quarter pole first. The 4 has an overlay 2-1, 10-1. The 6 has an overlay from 4-1 to 6-1, and the 9 has an overlay from 3-1 to 7-2. All but the 2 show par plus numbers, although a couple of them are pretty low. And then all but the 1 show C zones, but that 2 and that 10 are very low.
Yeah, only the 6 and the 9 getting above that preferred 50% number. Nobody in here at 30. This looks like a pretty competitive race at the beginning of the race. We'll see how that plays out in our race shape. Half the field wants to be forward, a little less than half the field wants to be back. Pretty balanced race. Get to the front, you got a good shot, as we talked about. Liam's Blue Moon, that one is much better than our old friend Charles's dating life in high school. Rejected again when the races get started. Late Speed belongs to the 7-horse Fast Bob. That one is about a length quicker than everybody else, but could be a little bit off the pace there. Top total pace horses, you got 4 of them. The 4, 6, 7, and 9, about a length better than everybody else, with the 9 at the top of that list. The 9 also tops your list.
That's right. I like the 9 Buffeed. He drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 24% of the races when dropping a horse down 2+ classes, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 8 Commander Carl is my next choice. He comes in from Kentucky Racing, drops in class today, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Fast Bob, the 7's my third choice. He finished second in his last 2 races. The last was as the favorite, but has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 30% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And then the 6, Rejected again, is my long shot. He has won his last race at Parx Racing. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance and a high percentage winning jockey. That's it for me.
Finally, I'm going to go with that full horse. We've seen Speed early on hold up. Well, if this one can get to the front, as our numbers say it will, does have the most back class, does have some very good workouts getting prepped, aggressive early speed edge. Let's see if Speed can hold up again at a price with Liam's Blue Moon by Feed. First up, after a little bit of a layoff, the record's kind of spotty coming off the bench, but it is taking a good size drop where the trainer, I think, hits at about 24, 25%, maybe higher when he drops multiple classes. Fast Bob, the 7 horse, is your morning line favorite. This one is running at the lowest level as it has in its last 10 races. Last time Fast Bob had a little bit of rest, was the fastest in the race, winning. Finally rejected again. This one should be out front. Was a tough call for me over the 5 horse C Trident, but did run a little bit better fractions last time out. So looks to me like to be a little bit faster of the 2 horses. Here are our full picks for the day. In the opening race, the 7-1. The next race, the 6-1. And if just weirdly, Terry, if that trend continues, 7, 6,
5.
Fourth pick, third pick. Well, the 5 horse should win this race as the second pick. You have him in there too. So we'll see if that plays out. Our pick 4 starting in race 4 look like this. Let's take a look at that. And in race 7, you can see there again, when the show's over, we'll timestamp everything in the description on YouTube so you can come back and watch every race. Tafum, for you. Terry's best bet of the day is the 5 horse in the 5th race. Maybe it should be the 5 horse in this upcoming race, although the 4 horse is your 1-to-1 favorite.
Yep.
Again, Terry and I will be back tomorrow to try our luck at the ever hair-pulling Kentucky Downs. Thankfully, they close tomorrow. We don't have to worry about that again until next year. But until then, Terry, any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, just have a good day. Be careful out there and safe. Give your loved ones a kiss and a hug and tell them how you feel, because you never know what's going to happen. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, and tell us how you feel with a thumbs up, a subscribe, or a follow on our social sites. Any interactivity, likes, coming back to watch the show again, comments in the comment section. All of that interactivity helps boost our algorithms. And the higher we go up in the algorithms, the more likely we're to show up when people search for horse racing, be it on Google, YouTube, maybe not on Facebook because they're weird over there. But nonetheless, any help is appreciated. And no matter what you do for the rest of this day, please try to live by the golden rule. Treat people like you want to be treated, right? Don't holler at them when they pull you over and then get beat up because the cop is all hyped up, right? So everybody just be kind to each other. And then, of course, we certainly hope no matter what it is you're doing for the rest of this day, you have God's grace and God's favor as you chase your endeavors and as our horses chase the place we want everything to end up. Terry, that is
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for Kentucky Downs.